Why is Shein worth $100 billion? What started as a small wedding dress store became a massive Gen Z sensation and the biggest fast fashion brand within a few years, leaving even H&M and Zara behind. But there are some secrets to Shein's unbelievable success and $100 billion worth. So let's dig in. Welcome to Lux Media. Taxing loopholes. Shein has cracked the code of cost-cutting, and that's why it manages to make massive profits. They've actually managed to find a few loopholes that help them save millions of dollars. First off, they don't really have a presence in China, although the majority of their products are being manufactured in the country. It's mainly because they don't want to pay the Chinese VAT taxes. If they start selling in China, they'll also have to pay consumer taxes. And by tapping into international markets, Shein is actually saving a ton of money. Not only this, but they don't partner with distribution centers either. Most big brands do business with distributors one way or the other, but Shein knows that they'll have to pay import fees. Shein's parcels are hardly a couple of bucks, and they would never want to pay thousands of dollars in shipping alone. It's the reason why Shein ships its products to customers directly, saving it a lot of money every day. Shein gets most of its sales from the US, and they sell millions of items annually. So, by cutting these small costs, they're actually profiting their business in the long run. Highly experienced founder. Shein's success is also hidden in the experience and expertise of its founder. Chris Zhu created the brand back in 2008, and before this, he ran a store of wedding dresses. However, Chris had a background in marketing and SEO, so he dived into the fast fashion industry and rebranded his store as Shein. It was doing really well for the longest time, but it really blew up on the internet during 2020, when everyone was quarantined and influencer culture was at its peak. People suddenly discovered this super cheap brand that makes really cute stuff, and they went crazy over it. Chris Zhu also didn't spare any money in marketing, and as he realized that his brand was doing good in the US, he used his SEO tactics and marketing to become the biggest digital apparel brand. Chris also knew that they won't be able to make Shein truly global until they work on their manufacturing and supply chain. So, he made his manufacturing so fast-paced that it takes a couple of days to manufacture an entire collection. Chris has also worked on his supply chain a lot, and he always has backups for everything, so Shein never really misses its mark. Chris is not a very public person, and he works for his brand quietly. It's the reason why he's known as the mysterious billionaire. Affordable, yet aesthetic pieces. Fashion is all about aesthetics these days. If you're not following a trend, people will start labeling you as outdated or even a boomer. But the worst part is, these fashion trends keep changing every few weeks, and you can't possibly change your entire wardrobe that often. So Shein came up with a solution. It offered really cheap clothing options to the world, and everyone went crazy over it. Shein knew that their affordability is going to be their selling point, so they made it their mantra. Although the brand compromised with quality, they always kept up with the trends and made so many affordable and cute pieces that people couldn't help buying them. This started a huge craze in China, and soon, the world got to know about this e-commerce platform, and this was when it really blew up. People started ordering stuff from around the world, and the demand surpassed their supply. Shein quickly expanded their business, and they're still keeping up with delivering thousands of orders. Although you can't wear their clothes for years, they're great for following trends, especially when you're broke. Shein tapped into a new market of affordable clothing, and that's why it got so hyped up. And now most people, even in the US, own at least one clothing piece from Shein. But it didn't become a $100 billion brand overnight, and it took a couple of years for the brand to really take off. And now, they've got a very loyal customer base that rushes to Shein every time they need something. Convenient payment options. When the Shein founder was expanding his business, he realized that the brand will only become truly global when they crack the code for currency conversion. And today, Shein not only ships in over 200 countries, but people can pay in their own currency without any hassle. The brand accepts payments from mobile wallets, debit cards, credit cards, and even banking apps, so it made payment really convenient for international consumers, and that resulted in its rapid growth. If Shein didn't have a proper payment model, they would have never been able to manage thousands of orders every day. So the credit of their staggering worth also goes to their complex payment systems, which have enabled the brand to truly expand. Besides, Shein is a household name now, but even when it was a budding brand, its economic strategies were very progressive, and that's why there are hardly any scandals about Shein's payments. People mostly criticize their quality, but that ship has sailed now. Influencer marketing. While most brands kept paying for ads on different platforms, Shein took a very different approach. The marketing managers at Shein understood early on that the influencer industry is going to be a huge thing in the future. So they started paid collabs with different influencers, even before it was considered cool. Their influencer marketing is so effective that even some of the biggest names like Katy Perry, Rita Ora, and Hailey Bieber have collaborated with the brand. But they mainly focus on smaller creators with organic traffic. If you've ever seen any of the Shein haul videos, most of them are paid, and these videos actually persuade people to buy those exact things from the brand. So, their influencer marketing is top-notch, and it gives them more exposure. And they don't just pick influencers from one region, but they're marketing their brand across the globe. This worldwide marketing is what gets them millions of international customers, resulting in their unbelievable worth. Shein also understands that they're the favorite brand of the youth demographic, so they mostly pick Gen Z influencers, and even their brand ambassadors and designers are really young too. These strategies are surely paying off in the best ways possible for the brand. Fast fashion model. A huge part of Shein's success is hidden in its fast fashion model. Fast fashion does end up in landfills and causes a myriad of issues. But Shein knows how to use fast fashion to its advantage. They not only just follow trends really quickly, but by using their social media algorithms, they also create trends. If there's a trend going around on social media, for instance, the most recent Barbie craze, Shein's algorithm and research team quickly points it out. Within a week, items are not only manufactured according to the trend, but are also available on the site and in their stores. This is what most fashion stores can't replicate, and it's a huge benefit for Shein. They also have a design team of over 2,000 individuals, and they don't produce thousands of pieces of the same product for months. What Shein does is they come up with very trendy designs that usually last for about a few weeks, and then new designs are posted on their site. This way, Shein never misses the trend train and always manages to stay in the news. The people at Shein also keep a really close eye at the kind of items that are selling really fast. They rapidly increase manufacturing of popular items and discontinue anything that isn't selling that well. This way, they also decrease their loss and always meet the demands of their customers. This fast fashion model is what really makes Shein the biggest clothing brand, because Shein's specialty is always coming up with new items. Most people even boycott Shein for its business model, but let's be real, it's getting them a whole lot of money. Social media appeal. Shein is basically a social media brand, and they spend millions of dollars every year on advertisement. They appeal to the Gen Z audiences, who are always looking for either cottagecore aesthetic or full-on gothic attire. And since the dawn of TikTok, Shein has become the most hyped brand in history. The hashtag SheinHaul alone has over 4.8 billion views, which means people are basically obsessed with the brand. Besides, the way Gen Z style cheap items from Shein will make you want to add them to cart immediately. Also, their social media marketing is so effective that they're always on top of trends and post the latest stuff about their collection. And wait until you hear that the Shein app was downloaded twice as much as the Amazon app in 2022. So that tells you where the clout is really going. Even the videos where people try on their orders from Shein have gotten billions of views, so the brand is basically a huge deal on social media. And it's all made possible with their paid campaigns, social media marketing, brand collaborations, and micro-influencer partnerships. By this point, literally everyone knows about the brand, and that's how strong their brand presence is. And with such a massive presence comes lots and lots of money, making Shein worth billions. Inclusivity campaigns. Shein runs a whole lot of inclusivity campaigns that actually appeal to its youth demographic. They don't just include clothes for zero-size models, but their sizes even go to XXX large. A lot of people in the US are plus-sized, but there aren't a lot of inclusive brands that make the same clothes for all sizes. Plus-size brands usually have really bland clothes, and it's now giving a huge advantage to Shein. They make the same designs in all sizes, which is why plus-sized people actually prefer Shein over other brands. Besides, Shein also hires diverse models in its campaigns, and they're not limited to a very limited group of people, which also increases their appeal as a brand. For the most part, brands claim to be inclusive, but they hardly have sizes greater than extra large, which won't be fit for bigger bodies. But you can find the cutest tank tops, shorts, and even lingerie in all sizes at Shein, which really increases their customer base, especially in the US. In fact, in 2021, Shein was even reported to be one of the most body-inclusive brands in the UK, so it's giving a really tough fight to other brands. Inclusivity might sound like a really small factor, but it has gotten Shein a very loyal customer base and made the brand worth $100 billion. So it won't be wrong to say that the Shein executives have played all their cards right so far. Tech-savvy model. While most apparel brands are still struggling with this fast-paced tech advancement, Shein is managing to keep up with its tech since day one. The brand has managed to cut down on manpower, reduced cost by using the latest technology, and is now using AI to save a bunch of money. AI identifies the newest trends for Shein by determining what people search on Google, and they come up with the most trending products instantly. They also manage to stay on top of all the media trends because their AI technology keeps telling them about what exactly is happening on social media. And researchers think that with this latest AI technology, Shein can actually manage to make about 1,000 pieces in just one day. That does sound a little stretched, but the brand has used its technology really efficiently so far, so at least I won't be shocked if their production witnesses a major boom. Shein also has a lot of data on what its consumers are liking and not liking. It automatically cancels manufacturing of dead stock and promotes the products that are doing really good. Some people even go as far as saying that Shein basically is a tech startup because so much of the brand depends on technology. When taking Shein's $100 billion worth into account, we can't really push the quarantine time under the rug. During this time, the entire world was basically locked down in their houses and people needed something to do. So they started making TikToks or content on Instagram. This was the peak of the influencer market. But for creating new content every single day, people needed clothes, and most brands in the US were too expensive. Zara was going through a tacky phase, so people came across Shein, which wasn't just affordable, but also made some really cute pieces and delivered it directly to the consumers. Small creators started making videos wearing Shein and tagging the brand. This got them a lot of clout, and they got promoted even without paying anyone. Shein realized that this could be a huge phenomenon, but they needed to act quick. So, they put a lot of money on their promotions during the quarantine. And suddenly, Shein was everywhere. People were making videos on Shein hauls, and even the videos that were made about Shein messing up the orders, the brand was still getting eyeballs, and that was all they needed. The brand got so much attention that it managed to raise funds on a $100 billion valuation. Although some reports recently claimed that the brand is not even near the same worth anymore, but there's no truth in them because Shein still is very much a sensation on social media. All thanks to Gen Z. User-friendly app and site. Would you order from an app that keeps crashing? Well, Shein is one of the most efficient apps out there, which is what increases their chance of sales. They optimize their app and site very frequently, so there are no bugs or errors affecting their sales. Besides, the interface is so basic that even a teenager can open the app and place an order. And that's actually why they keep things so simple, because their target audience is teens and people in their 20s. So, Do you think Shein could reach $200 billion in upcoming years? Or has it reached its peak and it's going to decline from this point forward? Share your thoughts in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel. Take care, and thanks for watching.